Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Coffee with Chris. Today, I'm kind of annoyed. I'll be honest with you, it is not the best day today. I've been trying to get things together in regards to my insurance policies and traveling to Canada this summer, because I'm going to go there for a couple of months. At least that's the plan. But nothing is going the way I want it to, and it's not even going the way it's supposed to. So the first annoyance actually started last night. All of a sudden, my internet cut out. Now, I haven't shared this before, so I should probably cover it. I don't run on a regular broadband connection. I just use an old cell phone that I have a mobile hotspot from, and then I'm doing data sharing. I do this because I have this really great deal on my phone bill, and I've got unlimited data and all those things, So I just use that. Well, yesterday, the internet cut out. And then I walk in to check it out, and the phone is bloated. Well, not really bloated, because I've been checking it. I was like, oh no, this is bad. This is like the battery's about to explode or something. But there's nothing internally. It's just the cover that's trying to pry itself off of the phone. So I am a little worried about what's going on with that. But I do need my internet connection, so I'm limited in my choices. So that's the first thing that happened, and that made me go to sleep a little late because, of course, this happened at night, and it bothered me. The second thing is I've been hooking myself up with some insurances. First of all, I was talking to a person from the insurance company a few weeks back, and we got things worked out. Then I couldn't accept the insurance offers that he'd sent me for some strange reason. And then I decided yesterday that, well, I need the travel insurance. So what I did was I went online, I just input all of my information. Well, it turns out they are now giving me the wrong price, because I did sign up at a price where I thought, yeah, that seems about right. Because I had some extra things in this insurance that I didn't have in the old one. Well, the one he offered me. And so I figured that the difference in expense was okay. Well, as it turns out, all of a sudden, it's $20 more expensive now that they've actually given it to me. And sure, it's just a mistake. And I know when the mistake is happening. I was supposed to get a discount due to the fact that I'm a member of a union. I didn't get that discount for some reason. It didn't get applied. So that's a next annoying thing. Then there's the whole trying to book a flight. And this is a little embarrassing to me, but I don't have a lot of money. I wish I had more money. I work hard on my studies so that when I get out on the other side, I will have a lot of money. Well, maybe not a lot, but I'll have enough. Whereas right now, it's kind of difficult. And so my girlfriend is actually the one paying for the trip, because we don't live in the same country. I met her online a little more than a year ago. Didn't really expect that. Never had a long distance relationship before. The longest distance relationship I've had was a couple of hours by train, and we got to see each other every weekend, and wasn't that big a deal. So this is my first long distance relationship, and it's been an interesting experience. There are a lot of new stuff that you learn about and that you get to try out. But there are, of course, and it would be stupid to deny that there are things that you miss, definitely. But it's each person does an evaluation, right? And I feel like this woman is actually worth the things I'm currently lacking, because she gives me so much more. Well, she decided that it could not wait with me visiting. Just because I don't have money doesn't mean that I shouldn't get to visit her. So she's actually paying. And I am super thankful to her for that. But I also feel a little bad about it because I feel like she shouldn't. But that just proves how much I'm worth to her. So it's nice, right? Well, that means that she has to transfer the money to me because I'm the one with the traveler's insurance. I'm the one who needs to, if things go wrong and I don't get to travel, I'm the one who's supposed to handle it with the insurance company, the plane company, the, the Airbnb host. Well, that also means that I don't have the money to order, so I'm waiting for the money. But here's the thing, we got several bank holidays coming up this week, which means I might not get the money until next week. And that's stressing me out a little bit because I'm worried that the place we managed to find on Airbnb is going to get taken or the flight prices are going to increase. So it's not easy, but it's definitely worth it. And even if it does end up becoming a little more expensive, we originally thought that we'd spend... Okay, so just to make the math easier, I guess, we actually spent 40% less than we had accounted for. So that's great. We managed to get a lot of cheap stuff, at least on the surface level, but that's also why we need to order it soon so that we actually get those things. But that's just stressing me out unnecessarily. And that's just about how my day is. Not enough sleep, phone is probably about to blow up, insurance is too expensive, and I bet that everything's gonna mess up when it comes to my travel plans. On the bright side, once the money come in, I can order immediately. Because I've got the insurance. It might be more expensive, but I've got the insurance. And so I just need to order the Airbnb and the plane tickets. Once that is done, I am done. And all we gotta do is count down. And trust me, I am counting down. I don't actually know the exact dates that are left, but so far it looks like I'll be leaving on July 2nd. Well, I'll actually be leaving on July 1st because the airport is slightly far away. So I need to leave on Friday in order to be there Saturday morning to catch my flight. That's going to be a pain, but I'll try to sleep on the plane there. So I'll just load up on coffee, energy drinks, whatever, just make sure to keep myself awake. Then set dozens of alarms in order to keep myself awake and sleep on the plane. As soon as I get on the plane, I'm gonna crash and then I'm gonna sleep for a long, long time because it takes a while to go from Denmark to Canada, and that should account for my night's worth of sleep. And well, that's the plan. I'm not that worried, actually. I'm pretty good at pulling all-nighters, but I'm mostly good at pulling all-nighters when I'm stimulated, and I'm not sure how to stimulate myself when I'm sitting in a train for 2 hours or in an airport for 5. There's not going to be a whole lot to do, but I'll be bringing, my stuff, basically. So that should be able to keep me awake and alive for a while. It's gonna be great. I'm so excited. I was supposed to travel last year, but then COVID, was still a thing. It still is now, but it was worse back then. And it was so bad that Canada decided to prolong their travel restrictions, which made it so that I all of a sudden was in a huge struggle with the plane company. Well, not really the plane company, but a third party of the plane company. They wouldn't give me back my money. They were telling me, well, I didn't order the in case they had this thing that you can pay extra for, and it was like $200 just to be allowed to cancel your ticket and get the money back. But then, of course, you wouldn't get the $200 back. And I wasn't counting on changing it. And also, the flight company's website claimed that they'd be able to give me back all of my money in the shape of a voucher. And that was perfectly fine for me, in the event that COVID was the cause of me not being able to fly. And let's just add here that it wasn't in case I got sick with COVID. It was in case COVID prevented me from traveling somehow, which was including if a country was shut down. But they wouldn't give me back my money. So I called the plane company and they told me, well, of course they'd be happy to, but they never received the money. So I had to go back to the third party that I'd ordered it through, and there was a lot of back and forth, and in the end I actually ended up getting in touch with my bank, telling them that I had been the victim of fraudulent charges. And they agreed that it was fraudulent for the third party company to withhold my money from the plane company and disallowing the plane company from... It's called an airline, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to refer to it as an airline from now on. It's because in Danish, we like a direct translation would be plane company. Sorry about that. So the airline should have had the money, and therefore they should have been able to pay it back to me. After about a month and a half, I think I spent on this, I finally got my money back. And I'm never doing that again. So if I learned a lesson from this and I were to give you some of that lesson, don't ever order a plane ticket through a third party. Always go directly to the airline. And if you don't know which airline you'll be traveling with, what you can do is you can go to one of these third party, or is that called a fourth party? Well, these search engine things where you insert where you want to go, how you want to get there, all of those things, and then they pull offers from various companies. Usually you can see which airline you'll be flying with. So instead of going to the company side and ordering through the third party, then just look at the airline that you'll be traveling with, then go to that airline's website, and you'll actually often be able to get it cheaper as well. I have found that it is much more intuitive to order directly from an airline's own website, and you also get better prices. So definitely do that. Never, ever, ever order through a third party unless you have a very specific reason to do so. Specific reasons to do it would, of course, be something like maybe you're ordering a package deal of some sort. In that case, doing it through the airline isn't enough. But if you just need the tickets, go directly to the airline. Lesson learned. I hope that someone hears this and actually uses that knowledge too, because it can save you a lot of money and a lot of trouble. And that's one of the things. Getting on a train is easy. And if you miss a train, you just grab the next one. Planes are a little more difficult to deal with. I'm not really that used to flying by plane. Well, I'm not used to flying at all. I was about to say flying by plane, but I've only ever flown by helicopter once, and other than that, it's always been planes. So, planes. That's the point. They are really anxiety-inducing, at least to me. I feel overwhelmed by the idea of potentially missing my flight. I'm worried, right? You shouldn't be worried when you're traveling. You should have fun. And of course, once I do get on the airplane, it's not going to be a big deal, because I'm not really worried about checking in and checking out. The only thing I'm worried about is potentially missing the flight. Because if you miss your flight, you're forked. Yes, I said forked. It's inspired by The Good Place and has to do with, child friendliness and censoring, all of those things. Well, anyway, it's about time for me to leave now. But before I go, I just want to let you know that I'm sorry that there wasn't a lot of positive stuff here. I want to try to be more positive, of course I do, but it's not always easy, and sometimes life just gets in the way, and when life gets in the way, it's pretty great to have a podcast where you can just rant about things. And yeah, that's what I chose to do this time around. Hopefully tomorrow will be a little more positive. As an final note to those of you interested, I'll be visiting my parents later today. Why I didn't talk about that, I do not know, but they offered food in exchange for some technical help. So I'll probably tell you a bit about that in the morning tomorrow. Yeah, that sounds like a plan, doesn't it? Maybe I'll remember, maybe I'll forget. We'll see. Anyway, it's been fun, and I'll see you all tomorrow.